Good evening, positive people. Buenos noches. Bonjour. Bon dia. Buongiorno. Ni hao. Memenjes. Dobre utro. Namaste. Sawadi. Chawem. Manga nangu manga. Como ye? Sopa wanansung. Assalamu alaikum. Privet. Guten Tag. Kalimera. And as they say in some neighborhoods, what's good? My name is Kevin Booker Jr.
And I'm Daisy Torres.
And welcome to the Cultural Flipside. Wow, Daisy. I tell you, it's been an awesome day. I'm feeling fantastic. We're going to have an awesome show today.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to this show.
Me too.
And we're going to have Paulina Batista on here.
I'm so excited to talk to her and see how she's been doing. And I can't wait to catch up with her. It's going to be exciting.
Wow, she's looking fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of just how sun-kissed and beachy she looks. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm dying to get to the beach, dying to be on vacation. I can't wait to talk to her.
And then later on in the show, we're going to talk about Connecticut. Connecticut is actually reopening restaurants and businesses. So we're going to start talking a little bit about that, digging a little bit deeper into what does that look like moving forward? You know, all the changes that are occurring within the state of Connecticut and also throughout the nation as well.
Absolutely.
And how are some of these business owners adapting to the changes and adjusting to all these changes that are occurring? So, you know, we're talking about restaurants, we're talking about food. What is one of your favorite, like, dishes of all time?
Well, you know,
love to eat?
I love lasagna.
Oh.
Believe it or not, I'm really into Italian food, although, you know, I'm trying to watch the waistline a little bit. You know, I'm working out. I don't eat it as much as I used to. But man, it's a really, you know, authentic dish of lasagna with the cheese and the sauce. Yeah, I'm all about it. I love it. And you know, when I visited Italy, they had the most amazing pasta. If anybody's been to Italy, oh my goodness, it's amazing. So you would have to try it. I love it. Italian would be my first. I would have to say also, you know, I'm a big fan. Of course, you know my Spanish food. I love my Spanish food, you know. I'm a big fan of Mexican food.
Wow.
I like tortillas and burritos and, you know, I just love all like meat, cheesy kind of dishes. That's my thing. How about you?
That's awesome. My favorite food is Middle Eastern food.
Really?
Yeah, so I love hummus. I love the actually falafels. I always get like a vegetarian eggplant. And I go to this place where it's just, they have a lot of Lebanese food, food from Morocco. That's my favorite food. I probably eat Middle Eastern food like 3 times a week.
Wow. Most people don't say that, so that's interesting.
I know, I do. I eat a lot of Middle Eastern food. And my second favorite type of food is Thai food.
Oh, I like Thai
So I love pineapple fried rice and, you know, I just love different types of Thai food. And then I would say my third favorite food, is Jamaican food.
Oh, yes.
So I eat a lot of like the rice and peas. That's stuff I grew up on. And then, you know, rice and peas, stir-fried cabbage.
No, man, you're making me hungry.
I know. A little bit of jerk chicken, kalaloo, ackee.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
Cocoa bread. That's part of my neighborhood. My neighborhood where I grew up was 90% West Indian.
Oh, wow.
So I was influenced by West Indian and soul food growing up in that community.
That's awesome.
So it was all intertwined, which was beautiful.
Now, are you more of a restaurant person, or you like to cook the food?
I know.
Good question.
That's a really good question. So I would say when I was younger, I was more of a restaurant type of individual. Now, since I'm getting older, I want to learn how to cook the food, and I enjoy cooking. I love cooking, and it's just part of like, you know, being in the room and being in the kitchen and cooking with like a loved one or a friend and just enjoying that time together.
Right.
So I love, like what I do now, I get a lot of like cookbooks, so I look stuff up online and I'll just learn how to cook different dishes as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So what we do at home is we cook Hello Fresh.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if everyone knows about Hello Fresh, right?
You gotta break it down now.
Well, you know, it's like meals that come sort of ready to cook. And you can, you know, pick them, and you can do different meal plans for one person or two people. And I love it because it takes out the guessing during the week for, long weeks of working. But then on the weekends, I do like to cook. Yeah,
That's
so I get a
awesome.
little bit of both. So, there's something about putting your own, for my Puerto Rican people, sazon, adobo, right, sofrito. You got to spice it up, right? Like, you just can't be having things all bland.
Right.
I'm sorry, but that's just it, right? So I do miss it, and I like to, throw that in there on the weekend. So it's fun. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about this plan about the Connecticut reopen and the restaurants, because I tell you, that's one thing about the pandemic I did really miss. Like, there's something about going out with your girls, having some, appetizers and some drinks, and that was really taken away from us during the pandemic. So I'm getting excited with the warmer weather and being able to get outside and inside the restaurants to do that kind of thing.
And honestly, that's what inspired me to actually start interviewing businesses, and a lot of those small businesses and restaurants was when, I knew a lot of those business owners were struggling and adjusting to the changes. And so I said to myself, I remember watching on television and also going in my community, walking through my community and saying to myself, wow, I got to do something to spotlight some of the changes that are occurring, but how are they adjusting to the changes? Exactly. And many of them have really done extremely well. And even through all the adversity that they faced.
Right.
And just going back to when we think about the restaurants and the businesses, a lot of people have dealt with a lot of mental health during this time.
Absolutely.
And due to the reopening, people are traveling more.
Yes.
And they're getting out. And Memorial Weekend is coming up.
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes.
Daisy, what's one of your favorite vacation spots during Memorial Weekend?
Well, I live in New London, so I love going to Black Island, right? Like, I already have that book for June. So I'm excited. It's my annual thing. That's something I'm really, looking forward to.
You doing it this Memorial?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm doing it in June. And this Memorial Day, I'm excited because it's like less than 2 weeks away. You're getting me all thrilled. I'm going to New Orleans. Remember I had talked about that in a different show. I'm excited. This is like New Orleans is now like back, like reopening.
Yeah.
And what I'm looking forward to most is obviously the amazing food.
Absolutely.
But the outside music and the live, bands that are going to be playing, that is what I'm most looking forward to. Just getting out and dancing and having a good old time.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I really need it. I need a vacation.
We need it.
How about you? What are your
all
plans?
need it.
What are you doing?
I'm actually doing something I've never done in my life. So, like the last show that we had was Dr. Steve Youngkite. We had him on the show
That's
from
right.
online.
Yes.
And he actually said to me, he said, Kevin, you want to do a 40-mile hike with me during Memorial Weekend?
I'm sorry, did you say 40 miles?
40 miles, right? So we're driving to Virginia, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go to a place in Virginia, find a location, and we're going to hike to Harper's Ferry. And with 40 miles, 20 of us, we're going to camp, get tents, and then we're going to cook. And then the next morning, we're going to get up like 5 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to hike 40 miles. And I'm excited because we've been talking about this for a year. It's something I've never done, but I love challenging myself. And I love being around people who can encourage me as well. So this is going to be exciting. Bring some of my family members as well.
Awesome.
And some of them have never done 40 miles
I was gonna say,
so it's going to 40 miles. But we're going to continue doing it, encouraging each other throughout that day.
Sounds like it's going to be fun and challenging yet inspirational in a way.
Right.
You'll have to tell me about it because I don't know if I could do 40 miles.
I know.
I'm just saying. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
You're going to come back sore.
I'm going to come back sore.
But worth it, I'm sure.
But I'm going to get it done.
Yes, I know you will. I know you will. That's awesome.
So today, we have Paulina Batista on.
Yes.
And she is looking gorgeous. She's looking beautiful. I can't wait to hear the great news that she's going to share with us all.
Yes.
It's going to be fantastic. All right, Ron, please bring on the phenomenal Paulina Batista.
Woohoo! Pauline, there she is. Hello, beautiful. How are you?
Que lo que, Daisy. Hi, everybody. I am thrilled to be here in Brazil and thrilled to be on the show, too. Oh, my gosh. I miss the set. I miss everybody. I've been thinking about you a lot, following the show. Dr. Cardona was on the show. Legendary Daisy Torres, who I've been a fan forever. For me, it's just like, I feel just so happy to see you all, thriving with the show. But I'm also really happy down here. I'm not going to lie.
Wow.
It's been amazing, seeing my family after a good year and a half, and then seeing my friends.
That's
and
beautiful.
then, being able to hug my mom, which was a huge thing for me. when I came down here, I kid you not, I think my energy and my tan were restored in 3 days. So it's been really magical, and I'm very, very grateful to be here. How are y'all doing? How are things? I heard that Kevin can't cook yet. What's up with that, Kevin?
No. I've been cooking over 20 years. I've been on my own for a long time now. Long time. When you're by yourself and you've been on your own for so long, you have to know how to cook.
True.
So I do know how to cook. It's about challenging yourself to learn about different types of food so you can expand your horizons.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta bring on that mofongo. My gosh, it's great to be here, be in the space. So I feel like I'm way more relaxed. So I mean, I'm still spicy and salty and shady and all, but I'm just much more relaxed, and I feel like life has a different tempo when you are number one with your family constantly, and number two in Latin America, right? It does sound problematic for me to say that, but it's true, like legit behind me, we have a coconut tree in the backyard. That's why I have, like a coconut, and it's something that we have every day. And staying in the US for so long, through the pandemic, I had I felt very disconnected from that, right? And I think that there's a lot of soul searching in me, coming down here and staying here with my family and going places and going, on really amazing adventures with my friends. I know that I heard someone talking about a hike, 40-mile hike or something like that.
Yeah.
I just did a crazy hike, Kevin and Daisy, to the highest peak, because, this is where I am right now. It's called Parachi.
Yeah.
That means little fish. Nanda Costa, the actress who was in Monster Hunter, she talked about this place where we both grew up.
Wow.
It's a really pretty place, right? You have the beach meeting the mountains, right? So right in between that cusp. So it's a very unique landscape. So there's like the most random things here. We have a fjord. A fjord is when you have, two like lengthy chains of mountains. It's like a valley of mountains, but like on the sea. Instead of having like a valley of land, you have water, you have the sea. It's beautiful. So those are only found in Europe and other places and in Africa. And we have the only one in South America here. And there's like this really high peak, about 425 meters high. That in feet is about, oh my gosh, like 100 and something feet high, and we hiked all the way up to the top, and my legs were shaking, and I looked around, and I was like, that's how Moana felt when she restored the heart of Te Fiti. That Disney film, right? Because, genuinely speaking, right, if you look at the character Te Fiti, it looks like Moana. So when you see yourself in that, in that space, that really gives you this feeling of reconnecting with yourself, right? So when I was up on that peak, that I looked at my Te Fiti, I was like, shit, that's who I am. Oh shit, I can't curse on the show. Anyway, this is really who I am. I'm part of this. I'm part of something much bigger, and this is an area, a space in the world that's really relevant to the whole world, right? We also have the Amazon forest not too far from here. So to me, it's like, whoa, man, it's been a whirlwind, but a really positive and sun-kissed one.
That is beautiful.
That is.
It sounds like you're going through a transformational period in your life.
I am, Kevin. I got 2 tattoos.
Oh!
I love it.
Love it.
Well, I had like 5 before, but it's not a big deal. But it kind of, so I even had this one right here that says God is change.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I mean, so that's new, right? And really, I've been reflecting a lot on how God is changed, and how is it that we're part of, something bigger in the universe. And I've been like super. Do you hear the birds?
Yes.
Awesome.
No, it's not reversed. I could have said, Forward Network. They really, put some, some birds in the background. But it's real. Like we have all these animals here. Like really reconnecting with myself and nature.
That's beautiful.
It's really been huge to me, and I wish you both the same. I hope you really get to do that now that we're all vaccinated and that we have a chance to sort of go out and explore the world.
Pauline,
Wow.
I just want to say it has been an absolute pleasure to sit in for you. It was, came as a surprise, and it's been so much fun. And, we've missed you, your laughter, your
Absolutely.
jokes. I've always had Brazil on my bucket list as a place that I've always wanted to go. What is like if I were to go there, what is like the must thing I must do in Brazil?
Oh man. Okay, there's so many musts. The first thing, Daisy, that I want to share with you is that my mom, she memorized Kevin's greetings, like all of them across all the languages and whatnot. So
Jeez.
she jokes around. Yeah. So I'm downstairs. She goes, "Mana, mana," and I'm like, "Stop." I love it. Stop. So crazy, right? So a must, I would say, the Christ statue, which was shut down for a really long time because of the pandemic. They just reopened it. Like politically, Brazil's messy, but let's just stick to the positive. So the Christ statue in Rio, you have to go, and also the Sugarloaf train. It's also really gorgeous. You should go. Mostly in Rio, there's a lot of different places. Also the north in Bahia. Bahia is like the blackest state of Brazil, and Brazil being the blackest country in the world, I think Bahia is really a must see, right? Because oftentimes, folks who are in the U.S. don't have a chance to travel down to see what, other kinds of blackness and the history behind that sort of came about. So I think that those are really important. And of course, the Amazon rainforest, which is also north. It's magnificent and breathtaking. You have those really giant trees, and also, of course, Paraty, which is like a really small town, 3 hours away from downtown Rio. So where I am right now, I am thankfully isolated from all the hecticness of Rio, which, there's a lot of COVID there. We don't want to be near that. So where my parents live, most of the coastal forest that we used to have is all located here now because we live in what we call an area of preservation, right? There's 4 native Brazilian tribes 15 minutes away from me. There's also, Afro-Brazilian natives who are folks who, it's very complex. I'm trying to express it. So those are folks who, they runaway enslaved people who ran, and there's they settled the community, and they only married within the community. So they have folks who are like direct, descendants of enslaved people here.
Wow.
It's crazy. They're not mixed per se, so it's really unique, and they have been,
awesome.
there in their community for the past 300 years. So that's a must. And really, any place in Brazil near the coast, I would highly recommend. But start with the Christ statue. It's very, very overwhelming, and most people really get emotional over it. Yeah.
Definitely gonna get out there.
She's making me want to go
I know,
now.
I
Let's
know.
get on the plane and go.
I wish. So tell me twice.
Jeez.
So, Ms. Batista, I hear you have a special announcement to make.
my
Did I just hear
goodness.
Ron over
Is
there?
that Ron?
Did I just hear Ron about this special announcement?
You did.
Did Ron just talk to us about this special announcement?
No,
Yeah.
I feel like Ron and I have a really complicated relationship.
Uh-oh.
That being said, in a good way. So, that being said, I have a special announcement to make. Drum roll,
Drum roll.
Can't talk. Drum roll, everybody. All right, not too much. So, that being said, me reconnecting with myself, me being the business of loving show business, I bring you today something very special. So I bring you today what I call the Tropical Girl Show, which is a show, that I like to call, the cousin show to the Culture Flipside. So it's like the Culture Flipside is branching out, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be your host, and we'll talk about different experiences of, Latinos in the U.S., outside of the U.S., and we'll see a lot of beautiful places in Latin American countries and talk to a lot of beautiful people and have beautiful conversation. And that's what the Tropical Girl Show is about.
That's
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Wow.
New show coming up, America.
Yes.
I think that I have a little preview to queue up. Is that true?
Maybe. Ron, you literally own the rights of my living and my image. So You can literally play it. Yeah, there's a
play this.
preview. So let's take a look at the preview. I'd love to share
let's
that.
take a look.
Dear Ron, I know you miss me. We had quite the amazing run at the Culture Flipside, and I hope you can understand that I just had to go. I had to come back to South America to find myself and get in touch with, how do you call it up north? Oh, my tropical roots. You know, I've always had a sun-kissed heart, like pineapples and palm trees. I really hope you understand, because when I come back to you, and all of you, I will bring you what I know how to bring best. I'll bring you a whole tropical girl show.
Truly amazing. I love it, and you're speaking to my heart, because I'm a tropical girl.
Yeah.
You are a tropical girl. You know, we got to be talking about what does that mean, right? And we got to visit all sorts of, you know, tropicalities, and we'll have really great conversation. I'm very excited. I also wanted to give a shout out to my local production crew, because they were amazing. Like, it's crazy, you know, I have a lot of friends who work in production, and those people, they already work, they have full-time jobs, and they took time to, you know,
that's awesome.
you know, come together and help me out. You know, the beat is, my friend made a beat. It's called, you know, Pauline Bossa Nova Trap. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of different tropical people came together to put this together. So really, I'm very happy that, you know, I'm going to be able to share that with you.
Pauline, we're so happy for you.
That was amazing.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see all the big things that you're going to do with the show. That's
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh. Let me just give you a little snippet, because that's important. So in one of the episodes, we feature, because it's so crazy that, you know, locally there's a lot of really random things happening. So there's a hotel here that has a whole exhibition of Carmen Miranda jewels. So for those of you who don't know Carmen Miranda, she was a tropical bombshell, you know, between the 30s and the, you know, 30s and the 50s. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up with the dates. And she was, you know, and she did a lot of work with Disney, a lot of work in, you know, old Hollywood films. And she was the girl who kind of showed the world what tropical means, right? But she was also a white lady from Portugal. We don't know that. So we need to be having this conversation. So I was actually able to go into the exhibition and take an exclusive look at her jewelry and her contract with, you know, old Hollywood studio contracts, and like all the different terms that were, oh my gosh, it's a trip and a half. So stay tuned. We're going to be showing you all of that and much, much more.
Oh, thank you so much. I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much for being with us today, Pauline. It's great seeing you.
Yes.
No
Pauline,
problem.
you look beautiful.
As always.
Thank you so much for, you know, just being your authentic self. You know, we love you. We appreciate you so much. And we're looking forward to your show. And, you know, I'm going to keep you in my prayers.
Yes.
Because I just want to continue seeing you striving for success and being your awesome self. So thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Yeah.
And we're going to have you back on this show, too.
Absolutely.
Because that's where you started, right here.
That's right. This sea is always your sea. Remember that. God bless you. And again, thank you so much for the opportunity to sit alongside Kevin Booker to continue the wonderful work that the two of you started. I am blessed and honored to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love you.
Take
So
care.
much. Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Wow, that's amazing news.
Amazing.
I'm excited because I'm a tropical girl.
I know.
I'm a tropical girl. Come. I will always be so. I can't wait to see what she's going to do with that show.
Oh, yeah. It's
That's
going to be
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah,
I know it brought back some memories for you right in there.
Oh,
when
you
were
know.
watching it.
You know.
Oh,
Oh, that water? Did you see that water?
that water.
know.
I tell you, when she was just talking about pineapples,
I know.
oh my gosh. I tell you, I started thinking about all those different pineapples, and I'm looking at the different fruits.
Yes.
But one thing that came to my mind was I just started thinking about Connecticut is reopening a lot of their restaurants and businesses. So today we have two extraordinary guests who are here to join us today, who have a lot of knowledge when it comes to businesses.
I know. I'm super excited to talk to Barbara Neff from Neff Productions in New London. That's amazing. I'm glad that she'll be joining us.
Absolutely. And I'm excited about having Kendi Sabato on as well from Jeffrey's Barbershop Spa. And they're a power couple right in New London, Connecticut. And they're doing phenomenal work as well. And they got an incredible business.
Absolutely.
So, Ron, can you please bring them on? Because we really want to have a deep conversation and dig deep into what's going on in Connecticut and how can people prepare for some of the changes that are getting ready to come down the pipeline.
I mean, it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready.
All right.
Well, hello.
How are you guys doing today?
Welcome to the Cultural Flipside.
Thank you so much for having us.
And thank you.
Great. It's amazing.
And how are you doing, Kendi? Doing well. So for the world out there, can you please tell people who you are? Because we want our viewers to know who you are. If you could just say a few words about who you are and the type of work you're doing in your community. We'll greatly appreciate it. Barbara Neff.
So my name's Barbara Neff, and I own a company called Neff Productions. This is my 25th year. I produce events for the city, as well as I do some contract works for other companies. I produce SailFest, as well as this year I will be producing 5 events on Bank Street called Eat in the Street, where we are inviting businesses to come into the street, and we will have vendors, we will have some entertainment, we will have movies, we're going to have a fashion show in August.
Wow.
And we are very lucky to say that we are going to have fireworks on June, July, and August.
Yes!
So.
I'm so excited. I live in New London. I'm so excited about that.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Kenny, you heard the great news, right? About the fireworks.
I'm so happy I can be able to see fireworks this year.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I am excited to hear that. And I heard a lot, Barbara, about this initiative with this Eat Out in the Streets. And I can't wait. I think it started, correct, on Cinco de Mayo?
That's correct.
Yes, it started, and unfortunately it rained, so we didn't block the street. But it was unbelievable the amount of people that came out and participated in the restaurants and the businesses and took food out, went to the hygienic, saw the free movies. So we're really excited about having hopefully a nice day in June so people can come out to the street and enjoy it.
Is this awesome. Every Wednesday or is it certain times?
So this is going to be the first Wednesday in June, July, and August. We are going to see how they are, and we might add some other Wednesdays to it, maybe to the middle of the month. But right now, it's the first Wednesdays of the month.
Oh, I'm excited about that. I will definitely be participating.
I tell you, I love New London.
Yes.
Jeffrey's Barbershop is right on the street. And if you've ever been to SailFest, they have one of the great booths that are at SailFest. So we're hoping that they come into the street and cut hair.
Ooh, that's a great segue.
And you know what? That's a great segue into
that's great.
Kendi. Can you tell us a little bit about your businesses as well, right in New London?
Hi, everybody. My name is Kendi Zapata. I am Jeffrey Zapata wife. Unfortunately, he's going to be able to join because we know in the business that we're running, finally we're getting a little more business and we're really busy. Yes, Barbara, thank you so much for the invitation. We have a lot of plans for this event, and because it was raining and everything, we said, okay, maybe next one we're going to be doing it, but we have a lot of plans to be putting here and the street like normally we used to do in Southwest. Like we miss him, but anyway, we're going to start to have a lot of fun, especially that we can do more outside and we can see different people to come to New London.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I can't wait.
Yes. Me either. I really can't wait.
She's like, me neither. I love your establishment. I've been in there, Kenny. Beautiful. And I love where you're located. You're right in downtown. Amazing. Is that what you're most excited about? Is that that event that's going to happen on the first Wednesday, or is there something else that you might be excited about?
Well, it's because Jeffrey is always, he's my always client. He never stops. Like, we always have something new. We never stop to thinking and what are we doing next. And we finish one thing, and I'm scared because I know the next morning he's going to wake up with a new event or a new something. Like right now, tomorrow, we have, that's what I have my background with a raffle or the motorcycle. He never stopped thinking about other people. He never stopped thinking about to bring more business, to supporting our business. We have 3 locations. We have 2 in New London and 1 in Norwich. And then number 1, Jeffrey's Barbershop is the baby because that's the first one. But this one in downtown, in the middle of the surface, everything happening in New London. It's always happening in downtown. So, you know, we're so excited to be in the middle of everything. Like we can participate with supper, we can participate with parade, we can participate with now eating on the street, and we can be outside. Not eating, but we can do a haircut outside.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
Gosh.
I love that.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing. Amazing.
So what I would love to know from the two of you is what was the most challenging for you and your business during the pandemic, and Barbara, for businesses overall, because you have been in contact with a lot of the different businesses in New London. Could you shed a little bit of light on that? Like, what was the most challenging for the businesses during the pandemic?
Well, well, the most challenging thing for me was we were going to have a St. Patrick's Day parade, and then that was in March of last year, and then all of a sudden the city shuts down. And we go in, and the mayor and I are discussing how we're going into a lockdown and how people can't be together. Well, my job is to put people together.
That's right.
So for that lockdown, it was, am I going to have a job next month? You know, how long is it going to be before I can put people together again? And it was very nerve-wracking, you know, sitting by myself at home. My boyfriend is a New York fireman, so he was in the midst of it in New York. And so it was very nerve-wracking. It was a very stressful time for me, that first 30 days, as well as, you know, all the businesses. And there's still businesses now that are struggling. They've closed, like the Oasis's pub downtown or the Dutch Tavern. They haven't been able to open their bars at all. So it wasn't like a restaurant that you could then open up and have little capacity. They haven't been able to open up at all. So my stress was for like 45 days. You know, their stress is over a year.
Right.
And now trying to come back and finding staff. The restaurants that I am talking to cannot find staff. They can't find people to take orders. They can't find kitchen staff. It's very difficult for them. That first Eat in the Street, there was the owner and one other employee at Octane. She couldn't find anybody. The Social had 3 people, and one was their social media manager who was working because they can't find anybody. So Noble still hasn't opened on Bank Street yet because he doesn't have a staff. So there's still a lot of stress out there with the restaurants and the businesses to get people to come and work for them.
Wow. Thank you, Barbara, for shedding a light on the businesses and how this pandemic has affected the businesses on so many levels. Same question for you, Kendi. You know, what was the most challenging for your businesses during the pandemic?
Well, you know a lot because you were part of us in the whole entire pandemic that we were closed down. For us, it was really bad because, like, we have people working on the Jeffrey's Barbershop or JBS Barbershop, and these people was not able to work. And thank God we were supporting our family, and we have food, we have money to support our business. I mean, our bills. But we was really sad because we have people cannot was making one single dollar, and we were shut down for 3 months, and then we cannot. When we reopen, there's a lot of limitation for we reopen completely, and then we lost a lot of business and we lost people, like Barbara said, and it's hard right now to get people to work because nobody's want to work, and it's besides this job, I work for another company at the same team. We cannot find people. I've been promoting job fair, increased freight rate, and it's difficult right now to get people to work. When in the barber shop, I'll be honest, we don't have too much support as a business owner with nobody because there wasn't. And then we had to handle it on our own. Like, for example, one of my lenders, he told me that we have to pay the rent no matter what. We cannot we cannot afford it to not pay the rent because he had to pay his mortgage. And he told me the only thing I can do is like, you can pay little by little. And I say, well, that's not support. And I know that some people get support from the banks or stuff like that, but we don't get support. And then like Barbara said, we are lucky that we have the business running better now. When the beginning, it was bad. Like when we reopen, we don't have support.
Wow.
That's really interesting. You know, thank you both for sharing that, because I don't know that everybody understands just what an impact the early days of the pandemic had on businesses in general, particularly smaller businesses as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you for that, because I'm always a big component of supporting our locally owned businesses. And I think that's so important. Very important. Right? Yes. And so this is what I love about your two establishments. Particularly because I'm not a native of New London. I've been here 5 years. Well, I've been living there about 5 years now. And I'll tell you, that's one of the best things I love about the city is the businesses and the restaurants. It's just such a diverse community, lots to do, a beautiful city. And I think I thank you both for being here. And I love that, you know, Barb, you were mentioning a lot about some of the challenges. So I'm wondering, you know, for some of the businesses that might be listening, you know, what advice might you have for them, you know, who may be struggling, and you know, now that Connecticut is looking to fully reopen, you know, what advice do you might have for them for, you know, safely and transitioning back to reopening?
Well, that's a great question, Daisy. You know, not only do I own my business, but I'm also the executive director of the Downtown Business Association. And so I work with a lot of small businesses that don't have the means, maybe like Kendra and Jeffrey's Barbershop, that to work through the process of getting the PPP money or to reach out and do the paperwork for some of the monies that were available. I worked with a business downtown who's a restaurant owner who did not understand the application process and what she had to give to get money from the city. And I know the city's trying. There's only 2 people in the position, and you know, I know that they're trying to help out the small businesses. But like Kendi said, you know, they really need help with the paperwork. Absolutely. And I don't think people understand that. You know, I tried to put in for PPP for the first time, and the banks weren't even ready. The banks weren't ready. My bank wasn't ready. They didn't understand the paperwork. I never put in for the first one, and then things worked out where I didn't have to put in again. I went a different means and wrote some grants, but not everybody can do that. And some people really need, and that's what I don't think sometimes the city understands, is they really need somebody to help them with the paperwork. And Kendi can tell you, when she's doing her social media marketing, when she's trying to pay her employees, when she's cleaning her business, when she's posting on social media, she's doing all these things herself. She doesn't have a staff. So to take away and then have to spend time on paperwork that she's never had to do before, doesn't understand the process, doesn't know where to get the numbers that they're asking for, it's very, very stressful. And I have helped a couple businesses sort of work through that process where one of them ended up finally getting the money. But it's some of the businesses just walk away from it because it's so hard for them and they don't know where to go for the help.
That is so true and very much important information that you're sharing, Rob. Thank you, because I would imagine as you were talking, all that kept coming to my head is that's, you know, if people don't know, are really new business owners, they may not know how to navigate. How to, you know, how to go about getting loans or the paperwork as you described. And if you are a business owner whose first language is not English, then you have another piece, a layer to that that is hard, right? On top of everything else that comes with running a business. So, you know, you're highlighting some really important pieces here that we, you know, our community members need to be aware of. Thank you. Thank you very much. So same question for you, Kendi. Do you have any advice, you know, knowing what you've been through and some of the challenges for any new or existing business owners?
Barbara say everything, and everything that you say totally agree. Like CSA, I had to do a lot of stuff for the business because we don't have the people, and I'm always on top of everything, and that's true. I tried to apply for the PPP loan in the beginning, in the first slide, and they told me, my bank told me, oh, you guys not qualified. And I said, okay, why we're not qualified? But anyway, we leave it like that. And then the second round, we tried to, and they told me the same thing. So it's like Barbara said, we need more support, and we need people to helping the business owner. Like, they don't speak English, they only speak Spanish. They don't know how to pull the numbers. They don't know how to fill out the application. And the application is hard to fill it out by their own. Because I tried myself, and I had to get help.
Wow.
So I totally agree with Barbara. And that we need people, we need more support for the Hispanic community. Kevin, you know that what I'm saying is true.
I know.
Yes.
We need more people to support Hispanic community, Hispanic business owners.
Absolutely.
We talk about that all the time.
Yes.
Thank you, Kendi, for shedding a light on that because that is extremely important. Wow.
That is, yeah, we have work to do.
We have a lot of work to do on so many levels.
Definitely.
And Barbara, you are absolutely right. And when I think about all those barriers that are preventing some of these small businesses from growing, as you said earlier, you said it's very stressful. You said it is so hard for them. And I know many of the businesses right now are struggling on so many levels. Because even when I go visit those restaurants and interview some of those businesses, they stress the fact that it's very challenging for them.
Yeah.
So can you leave people with a few words of encouragement or inspiration for some of those businesses? Where can people and viewers who are more established, like where can they go for some help and guidance, just like during this time, like when they're struggling and if you could just help those viewers out, because a lot of these businesses, they may not have the means, as you both of you know. What can they do? Barbara?
Well, Kevin, you know, anyone can call my office. I've been in business in New London for 25 years, and I might not be able to do your paperwork for you, but I can help you get the resources. So I can turn you into the right people that can help you. So it might be easier, you know, sometimes it's easier to call somebody you know. So, you know, to give me a call and I can help navigate the waters and get you to someone in the city that can help you. There is somebody in the city who's supposed to be working with the businesses, and that's Elizabeth Nosara. And as you know, Kevin, a lot of the city workers were working at home, but now they're coming back and working in the office. So Elizabeth is now working in the office, and so we can send her down to the businesses to help you. But I know that I saw the paperwork that I had to help one of the businesses fill out. And, you know, you need someone to help you. Once again, I've been in business for 25 years, and it was very difficult to maneuver through that paperwork.
Wow.
So I think that's the first thing. And then, you know, there's other things that people are looking for. Like there was money out there for energy, for for your gas and electric bill. I don't know if Kendi got to reach out for that, but just to reach out for like the different bills and things like that. The city does have money, and you just have to ask sometimes.
That's right.
And you shouldn't be afraid to ask. In this time, everybody needs help.
Mm-hmm.
So, Barbara, if I could just do a follow-up to that. Thank you so much again for that, because I think this is really important. People need to be aware of what's available, right? And oftentimes it's a lack of that knowledge. They don't even know. But you brought up a good point again, right? And so I have a question. I know you mentioned you can help point people in the right directions to get to the right person to help them. For the business owners, are there bilingual staff members that are able to help and assist business owners who may be Spanish speaking, given the numbers in New London?
Daisy, that's a great question. So I had to work with Mi Casa, who is a restaurant in downtown, and I am not fluent in Spanish. And so I found out that there is somebody in the city that can translate, and that Elizabeth Nosara can help you and navigate that, get that person's contact and help you. So yes, there is.
So that's wonderful. And Barb, at some point we'd love to connect. I'd love to connect with you offline, because whatever, we can do to support, these businesses that may need, translation services or just support with the language, we want to make sure that we're thinking about their needs as well. And so I'm willing to step in, roll up my sleeves, be of support, just because I know that it's only going to make our community better. So
that's great.
Absolutely.
Something I'm doing this year, Daisy and Kevin, is I'm going to do, I don't know if you guys know, there's a water taxi that runs in the summer. And I'm going to, during Latin Heritage Month, I'm going to be sponsoring one of the boats and do it all in Spanish. So if people would like to come down and take it in Spanish, it's going to be the first time they've ever done that.
Wonderful.
And so that's going to be in September.
Awesome.
So that's something, but you're right. There needs to be more of that. And I think we're moving slowly, but we are, I try to keep that in mind and do something every year. I work with Willie Quiones. Last year we celebrated Latin Heritage Month, and we put up some flags, and we're going to do that bigger this year.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Daisy, I'm happy. I'm so excited about the fact that, they're doing this great work in the city of New London, which is extremely important. Absolutely. And, and thank you for bringing that up. The importance of being bilingual and also addressing those issues, those barriers that we see all the time as well. For the viewers who are watching right now, can you say it in Spanish to how they can get in contact with Barbara Neff? Exactly, just summarize it briefly for everyone.
Sí, si hay ayuda que necesitas, por favor, puede comunicarse con Barbara Neff, que ella, lo vamos a poner el número de teléfono en la pantalla para que ustedes pueden buscar y hacer su pregunta. Si hay un negocio, un problema, una aplicación que necesitas ayuda, entonces lo vamos a ayudar, ¿sí? Porque es muy importante que estamos juntos y apoyándonos uno a los otros para que podamos hacer lo que podamos hacer para la comunidad de New London. Muchas gracias.
Absolutely. This is the cultural flip side. Everyone is included and welcome. This is a safe space right here on the cultural flip side. So, Barbara Neff, Kendi Zapata, your hair is looking beautiful.
Yes, Kendi.
I tell you, you are a businesswoman. Even while you were getting your hair done, you were still here. I love it. I love it. That's what this show is all about. Moving forward and empowering our community.
I tried to be more faster, but we're running out of time. We have a break, and that's why we had to do it. Well, I'm sorry.
No, you're working, and you're working, right? You're multitasking. That's what we do as business owners, right? That's what you do.
I can't. I wish I have like 12 more hours in the day, because my 24 hours is not enough for me.
That is awesome.
That's exactly what we're talking about. That is exactly a small business owner.
That's right.
Our time never ends. Like, I'm going home, I have 4 children, and my time is never done. I need 12 more hours.
That was well said.
I need more time.
Yes.
So, Barbara and Kendi, thank you so much for being on the show. Can you leave people your contact information? How can they find you on social media platforms? I greatly appreciate it for all the viewers out here watching the show today. I'll start with Barbara. I started with you earlier. I'll start with you, Kendi.
Okay.
Kendi, can
Barbara, you want to go first?
I was going to have you go first, Kendi.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So, again, my name is Candy Zapata. I'm from Jeffrey's Barber Shop and JBS Barber and Spa. You guys, anything I can do for helping the New London community, I'm here to support. Jeffrey's Barber Shop is always open for the community of New London. Anything that we can help in you guys, don't never hesitate to contact us. My phone number, my personal phone number is 860-514-5970. But you also can call Jeffrey's Barbershop location, and we always supporting you guys. Thank you so much for having me in this meeting, and it's a pleasure to talking to you guys.
Personal cell phone
Wow.
number. Wow. I know. Now that's a businesswoman.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's an agent of change. Wow. I tell you, I love you two so much. Wow. Barbara Neff.
And Barbara,
please.
know that I love her too.
Aw.
Wow.
Amazing. Two amazing women leaders in our
Amazing.
community. Thank you for being
Gosh. And Barbara, can you leave your contact information as well?
So I'm Barbara Neff, and you can reach me at Neff Productions either on Facebook or my website, neffproductions.com. You can reach me through the Downtown New London Association, and my phone number is 860-443-3786. And that's the office number, and you can leave a message anytime. I check my email all the time, and really, reach out if you have a question. If I can't answer it for you, I'll get you the resource.
That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Thank you so
Thank
much for being
you.
on the Cultural Flip Side today.
Yes,
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you both on. Wishing you all the best.
You are
Thank
two
you.
extraordinary women, and you're doing an incredible job. We love you. We appreciate your work. And thank you so much for all the work you're doing in the community.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Have a great afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Wow. I tell you, when I think of just Barbara and Kendi and the work they're doing,
Yeah.
wow, extraordinary, extraordinary women. Not just like business owners, but just also actively involved in their community. Moving forward, making sure they're listening to the voices of the people
Yes.
and being there for the people.
And that's what I love about that community in New London is that, they're small in nature, right? And so there is that sort of community feeling where people know each other, they can lean on each other. That's what I love about it. And I hope that people will get out to Eat the Street. That's a great event that's taking
really
place,
is.
as Barbara mentioned, the first Wednesday of each month during June, July, and August. Get out to New London, support the local businesses. And I think that you have frequented Jeffrey's Barbershop a time or two, haven't
Oh
you?
yeah, with my beard and everything, absolutely.
So, got the little men's spa going on, right?
Yeah.
It's the experience I hear is
I
amazing.
support all
there.
my businesses in New
I
London,
know.
absolutely.
I know, it's great. And I'm so glad that we brought them on right ahead of the reopen. I think it was important to touch upon a lot of really important topics just to be, equitable in the services that we're providing for all businesses, and particularly our small ones. So thank you for your support.
You know what? On that note, let's pray for these businesses.
Let's do it.
And let's pray for all of these agents of changes as well in our community. God, thank you so much for this time. Thank you so much for allowing us to come together as one to empower our communities. Thank you so much for Barbara Neff and Kendi Zapata and Jeffrey Zapata and their families. God, please protect them. Please protect our businesses in New London and throughout Eastern Connecticut and throughout the state of Connecticut. Help our businesses to continue thriving and continue just growing. God, we love you, we appreciate you, and we thank you for this show. We thank you for allowing us to have this platform to be able to spotlight these awesome businesses in our state. And thank you so much for everything, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Remember, you could pray anywhere, and sometimes if you don't want to pray, you can always meditate, walk. It's just important for us to always continue empowering ourselves to be better individuals so that we can continue helping our families and also our community. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining the Cultural Flip Side today. Love you all and have a great day.
Adios.
Peace.